The night of September 5th, 2025, began like any other at the Mauna Kea Observatory. High above the clouds on the sacred Hawaiian mountain, the air was thin and cold. The sky was a perfect velvet black, studded with the familiar diamonds of distant stars and galaxies. For the astronomers on duty, it was a night of routine. Data streams poured in from the powerful telescopes, each one a whisper from the deep past of our universe. Coffee was brewed, checklists were ticked off. The gentle hum of cooling systems and rotating domes was the only soundtrack to their patient vigil. Inside the control room for the 3I/Atlas project, Dr. Aris Thorne sipped his lukewarm coffee. He was monitoring the automated sky survey, a relentless search for anything that moved or changed in the night sky. Asteroids, comets, supernovae. These were the usual suspects, the bread and butter of their work. The system was designed to flag anomalies, tiny deviations from the expected patterns of the cosmos, the universe seemingly content to keep its most profound secrets hidden for another day. Little did they know, as the Earth spun silently through space, that a single packet of data was traveling across the network. It was a digital ghost. The first sign that something was wrong was a sound. A sharp, insistent beep from Dr. Thorne's console, an alert tone reserved for high-priority anomalies. He glanced at the screen, expecting a software bug or a high-energy particle striking the detector. But the diagnostic report was clean. The system was functioning perfectly. The alert was real. His brow furrowed as he pulled up the flagged coordinates. The target was in the Oort cloud, the most distant, mysterious region of our solar system, a vast frozen shell of icy debris left over from the birth of the planets. He clicked to open the image file. The screen flickered, and the raw data began to resolve into a coherent picture. At first it was just a smudge of light against the blackness, slightly brighter than the surrounding stars. Thorne leaned in, adjusting the contrast and applying filters to sharpen the details. The object was designated 3I/Atlas, the third interstellar object ever detected by the survey. Its trajectory confirmed it was not from around here, but it was not the object itself that held his attention. It was what the object was doing. It was actively decelerating. When the image was released, it did not trickle out into the world. It exploded. It landed with the force of a physical impact, a visual thunderclap that echoed around the globe. News channels interrupted their broadcasts. Websites crashed under the sheer volume of traffic. For a moment, all the noise of human conflict politics entertainment went silent, replaced by a single collective gasp. The image was stark, grainy, false-color scientific imaging. Its meaning was terrifyingly clear. A picture of a massive, dark, angular structure partially lit by a faint, distant sun. It shadowed the interstellar comet 3I/Atlas. The structure was colossal, dwarfing the comet. Its lines were too straight, its angles too perfect to be natural. Times Square. Crowds gathered, faces upturned to giant screens. In homes in Tokyo, in Rio de Janeiro, families huddled around devices, the image in their eyes, the ultimate confirmation. The question, are we alone? A resounding, terrifying no, our eye on the cosmos. To understand the gravity of this discovery, we must first understand the tool that made it possible. What exactly is 3I/Atlas? The name sounds complex, but the concept is beautifully simple. ATLAS stands for the Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System. It is a network of robotic telescopes. It is a planetary defense system designed by the University of Hawaii. Its primary mission is to scan the entire observable sky every few nights, looking for moving objects. Its purpose is to give us a warning, days or even weeks in advance, if a dangerous asteroid is on a collision course with Earth. It is our planetary burglar alarm. The 3I part of the designation is what makes this story so extraordinary. The I stands for interstellar. This label is reserved for objects that do not originate from our solar system. Their trajectories are not closed loops around our sun. They are open hyperbolas. These interstellar visitors are cosmic messengers. The global reaction was not one of simple celebration. The discovery of extraterrestrial intelligence did not bring with it a universal sense of joy. Instead, a complex and heavy blanket of emotions fell over the planet, a mixture of profound awe, deep-seated fear, and overwhelming curiosity. The image of the silent dark vessel was too imposing, too alien to be immediately welcomed. Stock markets plunged as a wave of unprecedented uncertainty swept through the global economy. What is the value of gold or oil in a universe where such a thing exists? Religions grappled with the theological implications, with leaders of all faiths calling for calm and prayer while trying to fit this new reality into millennia-old doctrines. Some saw it as a divine sign, others as a harbinger of the apocalypse. The internet became a firestorm of speculation. Panic buying was reported in major cities as people instinctively prepared for the unknown. Yet, in other places, something remarkable happened. Strangers gathered in public squares, not in protest but in quiet solidarity, sharing telescopes and binoculars to gaze at the patch of sky where the object was known to be. We were all just humans, staring up at the same impossible sky. In the frantic days that followed, the world's scientific community mobilized with a speed and unity never before seen. Every available telescope, on the ground and in orbit, was pivoted to stare at the mysterious visitor. The object became the most intensely studied point in the universe. Scientists worked around the clock, desperate to peel back the layers of the enigma. The first order of business was to confirm the initial findings. Was it really artificial? Could there be any natural explanation, no matter how outlandish? Several theories were proposed. One early hypothesis suggested it could be a shadow, a strange gravitational lensing effect caused by a small primordial black hole. Another theory posited a bizarre, naturally occurring electromagnetic phenomenon. The most plausible and most frightening theory was the escort hypothesis. This theory proposed the object is exactly what it looks like. An artifact, a probe, a vessel of some kind. This would imply not just intelligence, but strategic, deliberate intelligence. The evidence was piling up, pointing to a single, inescapable conclusion. The world needed answers, and it looked to its experts for guidance. Dr. Aris Thorne, the man who first saw the image, became an overnight global figure. In a press conference, his voice trembling slightly, he tried to convey the magnitude of the moment. We have spent our entire history looking for signs of life beyond Earth. We assumed it would come as a faint signal or microbial fossils. We never, in our wildest dreams, prepared for this. We are witnessing an event that will redefine science, redefine philosophy, and redefine the future of our species. We must proceed with caution. We must proceed with respect. We must proceed with an open mind. Other experts weighed in, their voices a chorus of caution and wonder. Renowned astrobiologist Dr. Ilara Vance urged patience. Right now we are like ants trying to understand the boot that has just landed beside our anthill. We shouldn't assume hostility. We shouldn't assume friendship. We should assume nothing. This intelligence may operate on timescales and with motives that are completely incomprehensible to us. Our first and only job right now is to listen, to observe, to learn. Her words were a calming influence on a world teetering on the edge of panic. Today is September 6th, 2025. The world is a different place than it was just 24 hours ago. The sun rose this morning on a planet united by a single, silent object, drifting through the cold darkness of the Oort cloud. The vessel and its cometary companion continue their slow, deliberate journey deeper into our solar system. Their trajectory, if it remains unchanged, will bring them closer to the inner planets over the next decade. Closer to us. The faint radio signal continues its broadcast, a repeating hymn of alien mathematics that our best minds are desperately trying to decipher. We are standing at the dawn of a new era. The questions we face are as vast as the space that separates us from our visitor. Is this a first contact scenario, or are we merely an uninteresting stop on a much grander journey? Is the vessel a scout, an ark, a weapon, or something our human minds cannot even conceive of? The discovery has given us no easy answers, only deeper and more profound questions. It has held up a mirror to our own species, forcing us to confront our hopes, our fears, our ultimate place in the grand cosmic scheme of things. And as we gaze up at the night sky, we are no longer just looking at a collection of stars. We are looking at a neighborhood that we have just learned we share. The great silent darkness between the stars is alive with possibility, and we are all waiting for the next word.